Most people think laziness is the enemy of success. They believe lazy people simply don't want to work. But the hidden truth is far more uncomfortable. Laziness is rarely about the body. It is almost always about the mind. A tired body can still move. But a tired mind makes even the smallest task feel like climbing a mountain. And this is a story about a young man who believed he was lazy, until he discovered the truth that changed his entire life. Armin was known as the lazy guy in his family. His parents said it. His friends joked about it. Even his teachers believed it. Every morning he promised himself that today would be different. He would wake up early. He would study. He would work on his goals. But every morning ended the same way. The alarm rang. He turned it off. "Just 5 more minutes," he whispered. Those 5 minutes always turned into an hour. Then guilt arrived. Heavy. Silent. Crushing. By the time Armin finally got up, half the day was gone, and his motivation was already dead. At night, the cycle repeated. He would watch videos of successful people. Entrepreneurs. Athletes. Leaders. People who woke up at 5 a.m. and conquered the world. Armin would sit there thinking, "Why can't I be like them? I'm just lazy." That word slowly became his identity. Lazy. And the more he believed it, the more it became true. One afternoon, Armin sat alone in a small tea shop near his house. His notebook lay open in front of him. The page was empty. He had come there to study. Instead, he was staring at nothing. That's when an older man sitting at the next table noticed him. The man had calm eyes and gray hair, and he seemed to be reading a thick book. After watching Armin struggle for a while, the man asked gently, "Why are you fighting with that empty page?" Armin looked surprised. "I'm trying to study, but I can't focus." The old man smiled. "Do you know why?" Armin sighed. "Because I'm lazy." The old man closed his book. "No," he said quietly. "You're not lazy." Armin laughed. "Everyone says I am." The man leaned forward slightly. "Tell me something, when you watch a movie you like, do you feel lazy?" Armin shook his head. "No, when you talk to your friends for hours, do you feel lazy?" "No, when you scroll on your phone late into the night, are you lazy then?" Armin frowned. "No. I guess not." The man smiled. "Then your body clearly knows how to work." Armin sat silently. The old man continued. "Laziness is often misunderstood. It is not the absence of energy. It is the absence of meaning." Those words stayed in the air. Armin had never thought about it that way. The man introduced himself as Karim. He had once been a teacher. But what he loved most was observing people. Over the next few days, Armin kept visiting the tea shop. Not to study, but to talk. Karim asked strange questions. Questions no one had asked Armin before. What are you afraid of? What do you actually want? If no one judged you, what would you try? At first, Armin didn't know how to answer. He had spent so many years being called lazy, he had stopped asking himself deeper questions. But slowly, something began to change. One evening Karim gave him a small task. "Tomorrow," he said, "do just one thing. Not 10 things. Not a big plan. Just one small action." Armin looked confused. "That's it?" "That's it." The next morning, Armin woke up. The alarm rang. His usual thought appeared. 5 more minutes. But then he remembered Karim's words. Just one small action. So instead of trying to conquer the entire day, he simply sat up. That was it. just sitting up. Strangely, it felt easier. After sitting for a minute, he thought, maybe I can stand up too. So he stood up. Then he thought, maybe I can open my book. So he opened it. 10 minutes later, he was studying. Not perfectly. Not with extreme motivation. But he was moving. And for the first time in a long time, he realized something important. The hardest part was never the work. The hardest part was starting. Over the next few weeks, Armin experimented. Instead of forcing himself to study for 5 hours, he studied for 10 minutes. Instead of trying to change his entire life, he changed small moments. 10 minutes became 20. 20 became 40. Some days were still bad. But something inside him had shifted. The label lazy slowly began to disappear. Because he had discovered a hidden truth. Laziness often hides 3 deeper problems: fear, overwhelm, and lack of purpose. When tasks feel too big, the brain shuts down. When the future feels uncertain, the mind escapes. When work feels meaningless, motivation disappears. But small action breaks the spell. One evening, Armin returned to the tea shop with a smile. I studied for 2 hours today, he told Kareem proudly. Kareem nodded. Good. But remember, he said calmly, success is not built in big heroic days. It is built in small invisible ones. Armin looked thoughtful. Kareem pointed toward a small plant growing through a crack in the sidewalk outside the shop. Do you see that plant? Armin nodded. It didn't break the concrete in one day. It pushed a little, every day. Tiny pressure. Until the stone had no choice but to move. He paused. Human life works the same way. Months passed. Armin was no longer the person everyone called lazy. He had not become perfect. He still had slow days. But he understood something powerful. Action creates motivation. Not the other way around. Waiting to feel motivated is like waiting for the wind to push your boat. But lifting the sail yourself changes everything. Years later, Armin would often tell others the same lesson he learned in that small tea shop. A lesson that most people never realize. Laziness is rarely the real problem. It is usually a signal. A signal that something inside you feels overwhelmed, afraid, or disconnected from meaning. The solution is not self-hate. The solution is small courage. One small action. One small start. Because the truth is, a lazy life is not created by lack of ability. It is created by waiting. Waiting for the perfect moment. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for confidence. But the people who change their lives understand one simple rule. They don't wait. They start small. And small actions, repeated daily, eventually wake up the strongest version of the human mind. So the next time you call yourself lazy, ask a different question. Not what's wrong with me, but what is the smallest step I can take right now? Because sometimes, the distance between laziness and greatness is just one small start.